Yeah. Jackson. Yeah. Bounce. Yeah. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be going back into map number 2 after eXtatus made a phenomenal comeback in the last one. Very well done by them, winning it in overtime flawlessly. Very impressed with how they managed to do it. And now they go onto a map which isn't particularly bad for them. It's interesting because in the past, at least, Team Spirit haven't looked particularly good on this one. And whether they can actually now pull things off themselves, it's going to be very interesting for me to see if they can actually do this versus eXtatus. Otherwise, they'll be the one continuing their way through, matching up against one of our invited teams in the next round. And, well, it'll be Team Spirit the ones going out, and they have been very underwhelming, it has to be said. Haven't been overly impressed with them since they brought this new team out, and after the start that they had in the previous map and the pistol going their way, it just looked like everything was over, but they managed to throw things down. And eXtatus with, as said, a brilliant comeback, but it was just peculiar. And the fact that Starix at the top of the board, like, how does that happen? And they don't win the game. That's the big one. It's like when Pronax top frags. Pretty much when Pronax top frags, you're pretty sure that Godsend are going to lose. This is actually already the second game of today. So, yeah, this is the last game of today. I think there's going to be a little bit of a break until we get into our second stage of the playoffs. That will be, I think, around the 12th, maybe? But, yeah, we'll find out, Hey, replays, how's it going? Hey, Disco. Alright, we're going to be going into our pistol round. CT side start for Team Spirit. Starix actually buying an 8G is quite an interesting decision. Not sure how that's going to be utilized. Maybe just thrown into that monster. Look at the aggression coming out. What is this from the CT side? They've sent only one man over towards B. They're definitely playing some sort of retake scenario. Already Sotfig going to be finding himself the first. Looking to try and flank in. There's going to be another in Dima. And they're just completely caught off. Dima's got himself two. Already, it just continues the bombardment of the connector position. Nobody's going to be flanking him from behind. Actually, wait, no, never mind. Coldie's here as well. Looking to try and do more, but actually he falls. This goes back to a 2 versus 2. 5-7 been picked up by Davkos, looking to try and do a little bit more with it, but can't find anything as of yet. Zegco will be able to trade one back after the kill. His teammate comes in. Oh, Zegco just about making his way past in that situation. It's going to go all the way back around. I like it. Zegco with the mind games. Starix has pretty much followed him all the way around the map, and he's even sneaking at this point, trying to work out where his opponent has gone. He will realize very soon that, in fact, the bomb's going down over towards that B site, and now Zegco can sort of play those games, try and trick his opponent, not allow him to know his position. The problem is Zegco doesn't know where Starix is coming from. He doesn't know if he waited behind or followed him all the way around the map. But he's going to go running back. He's being chased down Monster as well, just trying to hide in the corner, and actually Starix doesn't have a kit here, so he's just going to try and hold the 10-second defuse, at least for a second. It's going to be the hit, and actually Starix is going to win it. I think he just about has enough time, but it is going to be very close. Oh, yeah, he's got it, Close. But it will be the round win going the way of Team Spirit. They get themselves the pistol. Doesn't quite work out in the end. Devil actually gets himself 3 kills, which will be a nice little bonus of cash. And we expect them to go for the buy in the next round. This one's more just an attempt to get themselves a little bit of extra cash, do some damage to the CT economy, which won't be properly built up by the time that the buy comes back in next round. B-side all going to be gathering up over towards the B side of the map. Making their way. Oh. Starix has been spotted. He knows it as well. And the rest of the team is just going to go gallivanting onto short. Monty just trying to hide in the corner. And actually, they've got to be careful here. Just running and gunning. Bomb's actually going to be planted. So this is already a success. And they'll drop a couple of players in the meantime as well. Zedko has himself a dig. Just trying to hide within the smoke. Spamming away, but he can't get anything done. So that's not a bad round. And that could actually be Devil getting himself an AWP. I think it will be. He has enough to get it without head armor, but this will be the extra bonus that gives him $800+ and will put them up to exactly enough. So that is perfect. And if anything now, the T's actually have a much better buy than we see on the CT side. They will have full rifles across every single player. Actually going to be missed, which could be a bit of a problem for the CT side later in the round, but it's actually going to be the long take coming in for this T side. Davkos is there. He doesn't have his trusty AWP as of yet. Maybe they won't know how much T's have actually invested into this round. Rotation coming back in from Starix. Makes his way back towards the A site. There's still a lurker in the form of Monty, who may just be sent in to make a little bit of extra noise. Boost. Oh, this is nice. Of course, there's no way he could have seen that coming. Nice start. Now Sophic going to try and return the favor, but he goes down to Questa, and that leaves just Starix on the site itself, trying desperately to hold on. Frozen won't allow it, as he takes his head clean off, and now Monty the lurker. He knows this. Unlikely that the CT side are going to be going for this round, so he's just going to try and catch them on the exit. Already gets himself one. Coldy desperately wants to hold on to this rifle. Look at the money. They've got 2 players who will probably be able to buy a 3rd rifle. Could be nice if they are going to force things up. We'll be able to hold on to it at least for now, but it looks like the T's are going to come running and gunning. Try and find him. Hunt him down. She takes down 3 kills. That's really bad, actually, for eXtatus. That's going to do a huge hit to their economy, and that is probably going to be the difference between the force buy coming in and not. Because now, Coldy, with the extra money he just earned, could even drop a FAMAS, and this buy really isn't too bad whatsoever, so that's a bit of an overface in that situation. 2-1. Davkos, even with his AWP, Devil holding the angle, but the double nade is actually going to force him off the angle. T-side have taken connector control. Could be doing a little bit of a boost over towards the playground. Minute left on the clock as the T's look to gather up towards this A side of the map once again. Hot flap. Actually can work wonderfully. Devil completely blind, and of course is going to win that initial duel. No refrag available just yet, although Frozen will pick up the AWP. A man of many talents. He's going to look for the second as well. Davkos just around the corner. He's now sat in the corner. Now, this is actually interesting, because he's holding this with an AWP. The missed shot from Frozen will give him that frag. The rest of the team fairly static at the moment. They're going to go rotating back towards this B site. Now it's going to be onto Dima. Not a lot of time left to play with, so he's got to try and hold on in this situation. Already he will fall rotation in from Coldy, but he's going to go down as well. And this late push seems to be working wonderfully. On planted with 10 seconds to spare. Starix and Davkos. Short range and long range. Short range not going to work. Let's see if long range can make a difference. No, it cannot. The conversion will come in even after the early heroics of this CT side. And now they have absolutely no money to play with. eXtatus set and ready to get themselves a freebie and build up some extra money. Yeah, Quest has looked really good today. I've been a bit skeptical about him, but yeah, it looked like he's starting to do some work. Devil starting with the AWP. It's going to be this push to try and get it out of his hands. Frozen flanking in. Will actually go down to Starix. So that's a rifle into the hands of the T's already. CT, sorry. See if he can hold on to it. Likelihood is no. And Monty will in fact be there to finish him off anyway. 4 players surviving. That's perfectly reasonable in terms of the T side. They've managed to build up a little bit of extra cash as well, just in case they are to be reset. Now, there's no AWP in this round for Team Spirit, which, well, so far in the rounds they've actually managed to win was the closest that they came off the back of Davkos AWP. Obviously, they did get themselves the first couple, but both times the bomb went down. T side again. Have to be setting up over towards this B side. 3 players currently wait there for the CT side, so a decent setup to have. Molotov going to be forcing Starix out of position, but he will take the peak, loses the battle early on. The trades come in across the board. Lots of damage, but eventually it's Frozen to give the 1v2 and Devil to finish off as the rotation fails. eXtatus, they get themselves another. The money is not going to be good once again. CT side just with a few pistols. Sophic the only one with any armor behind it. The max loss bonus coming in the next round will give them a significant amount of cash. Enough for double AWPs, in fact, if they so desire it. Things haven't been going too well for them so far, and in this round I don't think their luck's about to change. The aggression is caught. However, the 2 players over towards the toilets may just be able to cause a little bit of havoc. First will go down, but there's still a second one as well in Davkos, who gets the first. Another comes in for Starix, and he actually gets a second with the P250. This round is already too close for comfort. Both players picking up rifles as well. Devil holding the angle with the AWP. Flashbang will go out. Also try and take a different angle, and instead will lose his life. And now Starix already getting himself 2 kills in this round. Looking to try and do more. Will be able to hit the first. Looks for the second, but he will get traded. Way too close once again. Only pistols in that round coming up versus eXtatus. And Team Spirit now, they'll have the full buy. All the trimmings. Grenades. Kits. Even head armor if they so desire it. And Davkos has his AWP once again. Let's see what they can do in this situation. T-side will still have a 4-buy, but they've taken a nasty hit in the last round. And oh, look at Devil. 12-3 at the moment. The only one with any real cash. B-side once again. They've had Connector pretty much for free in most rounds, but this time Sophic is there, and neither player actually spotting each other out. He's going to be able to fall back. B-side once again seem to be gathering up over towards that B side of the map. Holdy playing somewhat of an anti-flash position where he can just peek out afterwards. In fact, he's going to throw a flash of his own. That should catch a lot of players blind. He's going to spray down 1, 2, a third will fall to his teammate as well. And this time the round has been shut down. The remaining player's going to try and rotate back and get that bomb. go down. Molotov will still deny them from getting it, at least for now. Flashbang going to be completely failed, and Frozen will watch it, and the smoke is not good either. We'll be able to peek in and find the bomb, though. First map was won by eXtatus. Zekko's actually got another. This is already getting fairly costly. Teamer peeks out there. That's the bomb dropped. Firmly in the open as well. 30 seconds left, and Zekko is going to push in and die. So that will be a 5-3 scenario. Still the lead for the T side, and the money, it's not in the worst case. If anything, I'd quite like to see them just drop some pistols and come up with a 4-buy in the next round rather than taking a manner of risk here. Looking like that's what they're going to go for. Devil will get himself an extra AK because he's got the cash to do so. Peek coming out from Davkos. He's got his ult back. Well, at the moment, missing shots like that, and eventually somebody's going to capitalize. Peek going to come out towards long as well, just holding in this position. However, Devil will be able to get one. Still doing work at the moment. He will be traded out eventually, but Zekko's still standing. Has himself some armor, but there we go. Both players traded in the end. 4-5. Now, well, actually, they don't really have enough to buy. I think they invested too much in that round. Yeah, that's just odd. Instead of giving themselves a decent opportunity, they've just sort of screwed themselves for 2 rounds. The idea behind it was good. It was just the execution of it that was poor already. Cody going to be starting things off. Frozen trying to run and gun, and he will hit the dink, but he's not getting the kill for it. Seem to have given a bit of an in. Team Spirit in this game, giving them a few freebie rounds. Devil with the deke. Try and peek out. Nade's already doing so much damage though, and Starix and Co are just going to clean things up. Flawless for Team Spirit. Decent weight. To build up their economy. And get themselves really rolling on this CT side. It's only been a couple of rounds. 3 in fact. Want to make sure they have enough cash that if they do inevitably lose one, they'll still be able to buy. Back in with the purchase from the T side. Had a little bit of a break from buying after the sort of mistakes with the buys in the previous couple of rounds. Connector once again going to be taken. Actually only one player over towards this A side of the map whatsoever, and that's going to be Sopvik. Has to play a sort of spotter role. Rotation will now come back in from Starix, and we have actually seen eXtatus fairly committed over towards this A side of the map, at least in a lot of their buy rounds. Devil going to go for the peak as well. He catches Sopvik. Rotation already going to be coming in from Davkos. Not going to be able to hit the shot, just missing, and in the meantime, his opponent, his opposite AWPer, has found one. Leaves it into a 4 versus 2, and the remaining players, I think they're going to make the decision to save. Not really worth trying to retake this one. 4v2, and when your money isn't too solid, seems like they're making the right call here. No real hunting going in either for eXtatus. They just want to build up their own cash in this situation, and rightly so. It's pretty abysmal at the moment. Keeping 4 players alive will definitely help them. Terrorists win. The CT side are still going to have enough money to get everything that they want. Davkos can have an op. Starix could even buy up a second one if he really wanted to, but they're not. They're just going to stick with the one Davkos in this situation. T-side already getting themselves 6 rounds, so not a bad half, but I feel like considering they've started so strong, they're going to want to try and continue forward in a similar situation. 8, probably their aim, I'd say. 8 rounds would be reasonable. Obviously, they probably want the whole lot. Frozen definitely does already. Takes down Sophic, running through the smoke. A balls out play. But he started things strong. Now already we can see the slowdown from this T-side. They don't really need to gamble too much in this situation. Devil going to be holding the angle with the AWP, and Davkos just runs straight into it. He's got nobody on shore, but still doesn't suspect that there could be anybody there. Frozen as well, just being crafty. The body's going to be in the way as well, so chances of him being spotted were so slim, and the remaining 2 players are left split between sites. Only Starix to try and hold this one down. Get one, but that will be all, and now Dima, again, will probably be forced to save. Now, he'll be able to drop a rifle. Starix and Coldy can probably get one themselves, so it means that they should still have a buy as long as he keeps his gun in play. But even still, it's going to be very close to them being reset right towards the end of this half. Dima will be able to save his weapon. Stark's actually going to be calling out a pause, and this is not something that Team Spirit actually do too often, which, considering they have such a tactical in-game leader, it's quite surprising for me that we don't see more pauses out from them at least. 7-5. T-side now building up a little bit of extra money as well. Devil currently 16-6, so he's having a great performance. Westone, well, he played brilliantly on the last map, so did Frozen, so they can step up as well. Hey, Jetski, it's going good. I'm pretty sure they're not speaking Russian, by the way. Just based on most of them being eXtatus fans, but... You watch any of Cologne? Yeah, I've been watching it most of the day. Obviously not while I've been casting, so from about 3 before that I was watching it. It's been really good, actually. I enjoyed watching Guardian play well again. How many games have you been casting past 3 days? It's only been like 1 game per day. 2 today. I've actually been spotted. A little bit of extra damage going to be done through the wood. Push going to be coming out. Both entry kills going away. Even when they know that it's coming, there's nothing that the CT side can do. 3 players on this site and only 1 dropped. The 4th rotates in individually as Sophic tries to make a hero play, instead ends up being more of a villain as he falls within seconds, and Davkos, he wants his AWP. So he's just going to go running for the hills. Liquid going 3-0 is, well, incredible, really. Especially, like, you look at the difference in caliber of teams in comparison to how they did at the qualifier. And you think, how did they make it through this one and not through the other one? But yeah, but I've been impressed, and I'm looking forward to seeing the future of that team. I do, even though, like, obviously being EU, I want to support some of those European teams. I want the Americans to have like a couple of good teams, because it just makes the rivalry so much more exciting when like somebody's up there with them. Like that Liquid grand final was incredible, with Simple just doing crazy stuff. Obviously, then there was no European teams in it, but that's not the point. Thank you, Blu-ray. CT side, once again, left with very little. Just the AWP of Davcost. What can he do here? I think he spotted the leg at least. Lovely shot. Already catching that first. Will just be rotation coming in. T-side bringing it back to the 3 versus 3 situation. CTs already have players on the site itself. Dima holds the cross, finds himself one. If this is the round that they manage to win, it's going to be painstaking. Molotov will force them out of position. Devil looking for the push. Davcost. Oh, he's going to get headshot through the smoke. And finished off by Devil as well. This man is having a magnificent game. 20-6. A star performance from the AWPer of the team. That'll be 9-5. Who won Mirage? I think I made my point. No, I'm kidding. It was eXtatus. Aggression out from Dima. Actually going to catch the man himself, the hard carry, the beast. But Zedko will be there to trade. I'm just kidding, don't worry. Already the beast side is going to completely fall as the aggression from this CT side works out initially, but unfortunately they've now got to try and retake this site in a 4 versus 4 situation. Look at the boost. The boost is trying to come back in over towards that. I love this, but it doesn't work out. Davcost actually going to be able to find the kill. It's all left on to Monty. He needed the 4 Monty, and he gets absolutely nothing. 9-6. Still a very good half. Elite Spirit can have a chance. If they win themselves the pistol, who knows? It's the situation from Manchester. I'm not in Manchester. The thing is, I feel like attacks happen all over the world. Like, obviously that one was absolutely horrific, but I don't think like it's that much worse. I think the thing that was more like local to me was the building being burnt down. To make them think that that means they lost. That would just be the weirdest graphic ever. If they've got a 1 next to their name, that means they're 1 map away from losing. That would make very little sense. Do I think Optic will make it out of the group stage? Honestly, no. Like, if all of their players perform magnificently and just, like, we see something crazy coming out, or maybe because Tarek's in-game lead and everybody gets a bit more hyped up, then it's possible. Because individually, they are nuts. Mixwell is a beast when he performs. I don't think there's many people that can really control it, but at the same time, not so much a believer. Pistol round already starting well. As Coldy manages to get himself a couple. Questone falling back to the site, looking to try and trade things, but actually can't quite connect the shots. Got the support of his teammates rotating in, but look at the T's. They're out of there. We're going back to B. Back to black, as was once said by the late Amy Winehouse. See if they can finish in the Frozen. Gonna catch them on their rotation. Doesn't take anybody down. Holdy's actually gonna finish him off in the meantime. And look at this again. Ring around the rosy. Questone in the right place, just not quite at the right time. He loses his head. Zedko. 1 versus 4. Not really believing that he can do this, but you never know. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Oh, look, you can see the depression in his model's voice. Voice? Voice? Ugh. I've gone out to talk. Depression in his face? Or body, I guess. I would love to cast a major, but I think I'm quite far off that. I've got a lot of work to do. 7-9. CT side are going to be investing back into this one. Zeko will be able to hit a little bit of a tag. There's actually 4 players going to try and push down middle now. And Frozen, that's ridiculous. Look at the amount of damage being done. They're even killing their own teammates at this point. Dima, 1v2. Who are Space Soldiers playing? I haven't seen the draw. Replayers, I think anybody who talks about closing borders is an idiot. Dima. Oh, hello. He's already got himself 2. Frozen. Looking to try and finish this off. Can he save it for his team? He misses the shot. Needs to try and repeat out. He does hit it. And he should have enough time. The Molotov actually doesn't do anything. Frozen. Comfortable. Cool. Collected. Tom's opinions are always important. Yes. Yeah, no, I know they beat SK. I actually watched a bit of that game, although casters kept interrupting each other, so it was a bit annoying. I've not actually met. I think it was Jackie, and I don't know the other guy. It's like Christian, but I don't think Christian's been casting that one. Frozen again. What a beast! What a beast! Not even 15. 10-7. 4 spy coming in. Do I think SS can beat Fnatic? I don't see why not. Very talented team. I think Calyx is a beast. I know everybody always talks about Zontaros, but I think Calyx is just as good and could be better, which is a bit of a controversial opinion. Just want to see him show up on the big stage, and if he does, I'll be very, very happy. Then again, though, Fnatic, there's so much experience. The pressure's definitely going to be on Space Soldiers, but Fnatic have been known to crumble in the past, so who knows? Haven't won a tournament in quite a while. Haven't looked like the same team in quite a while, so still waiting. But gotta love Fnatic. Even if you're one of the people who hated them when they were on their streak, you've gotta love Fnatic. Here we go, though. Tease. Look at the entry. Coldy will be there to start. Already gets his first kill. He's been looking good on this T side so far. In fact, tops the board at the moment for his team. Questo goes aggressive, loses his life as well. Looking like the trade may be coming straight back in terms of rounds. As now Frozen and Devil looking like they're just going to hold on to their weaponry. A quick B push completely catches them off guard. And it's that man Coldy to start things off. C9 versus Immortals could be good because they're both very explosive teams. If, like, Stewie and Automatic turn up, who knows? Like, Skoodoodle's been doing very well. Then on the other side, you got the new guy, KNG. Henny could just have ridiculous games. Yeah, I'm a full-time caster. I'm employed by StarLadder, but in my free time, I can work for anyone. In fact, I'm working for Gfinity on Saturday. So going down to London to do some casting in their arena. So if anybody's from the UK and doesn't mind spending 15 quid to come see me, do it. Well, and if you're not from the UK and you don't mind spending like 500 quid. Eight to 10. 4 spy once again. Quite risky from the CT side, in fact. But it is Devil and Frozen with the weapons. The aggression from Zeko not going to pay off whatsoever. You have a little bit more presence. Frozen still waiting. Second on the board at the moment, and the problem is going onto the CT side, you can't really rely on one player to drag them through. However, if Frozen can wake up, step up and play. Ready, he's got himself 2. That was a lovely shot as well. Can he get himself a 3rd? Zapping away, but actually Starix is going to win the duel. The old dog versus the new kid on the block. Starix. Gonna beat that 14-year-old. Wow, that sounded a lot less weird in my head. Gonna smack him. There we go. Much better word. Three versus three. Weaponry definitely favoring the T side at the moment. One man actually over towards A site. Devil trying to be the hero once again. Already finds one. Looks for the second, but it's not quite going to be enough. And now without the weaponry, can they deny this plant? They bring it very close. They need to try and stop this, but they're actually going to take one down and go for the push, and again it's going to go back. There's just no rounds stringing together so far in this second half. eXtatus will be able to do this. Frozen with the start. For child cruelty. No. Yeah, Thorin's going to be at the event. Which is quite a surprise to me, actually, with the Gfinity guys. Also, they're bringing back, like, Kyanite. I've not seen him cast in ages. So, looking forward to that. I don't actually think I know who I'm duoing with, which should be interesting as well. But, yeah, looking forward to it. Never cast an event in the UK either, so for me, this is a first. I think I did UK Masters, but that's online, so... What do you think of Nip's new lineup? Too early to tell. They always, whenever they get a new player, they always have a honeymoon period where everything looks pretty and you're like, oh, this is amazing. When Makalele joined, I'm pretty sure they won, well, the second time they won Star Series when he stepped in for the pit. So, and then they just fell apart again. So, I want them to do well. I'd love Rez and Draken to succeed, but we'll have to wait and see. Just like in this round, 2 kills already. Nice start for the CT side. Demon looking to try and turn the tide, but it's frozen once again. This guy's crosshair placement is just ludicrous. Stop pick. 1v4. They know where he is as well. Not gonna get anything done. Frozen with another brilliant round. He's starting to step up as well. Yeah. Vavaliv? I'm probably butchering your name. But, yeah, I'm a big fan of both of those teams because I like the Estonians, I like ROPS, I like HS. Probably name you about 20 more that you've never heard of, but it's not really going to help you out. Look at the taps from Frozen. Even on eco rounds, he's just so clinical. He doesn't even need to be that clinical. They don't have any armor. And he's just like, tapper, tapper, tapper. Head's gone. 4 players alive again. But yeah, I'm always going to be a big fan of Na'Vi because Guardian is probably my favorite player. It's him and Shocks. Guardian did fall off a bit, but when he was at his prime, he was just the most exciting player in the world. I don't care what anybody says, because you're wrong. He was the most exciting. Have you ever been to Czechoslovakia? No, I haven't. I'd like to, though. East side now looking like they may have walked into a little bit of a wall. They've bought themselves up the AKs once again. How has Frozen got away with this? He gets one, looks for the second, but this time he will be punished. Out. Devil goes down. One of the stars for this team so far in this game. Sophic looking for the peak as well. Monty just going to be waiting around the corner and will win the duel. Still a 3 versus 3 in this situation. Bomb going to be going down. Rotation coming in from Questone. Has to be careful. He's smoked out at the moment. already. Zedko going to be finding one more. Dima looking to try and hold on. Finds the first, but they've got to watch out for this flank from Davkos. Perfectly timed. Monty having to spin around on the spot. And Davkos will end this round in its tracks. The CT side haven't built up a huge amount of money, but they do have enough to get themselves a purchase into this next round. Get to see whether or not they can continue their streak. Yeah, it's normally the AWPers that are the most exciting players to watch, like Kenny as well. Just because, just things that you see him do. But like Cold's another one, just pulls off plays you just never think are possible. And Snacks. Snacks is up there. I should visit Prague. One day I will. Holdy starts things off. Questone doesn't really have too much to play with. Devil actually could be able to drop the bomb in the open. Be fairly helpful. Frozen going to be caught off, but Monty going to further aggress and find himself another kill. No, he lines up the shot perfectly, but can't tell because he's blind. Yep, Fallen as well. JW, all of these players just so exciting to watch. Zedko and Monty. Very little chance of them achieving anything in this round. Zedko already being spotted out. Lovely shot with the dig. Just going for the shoulder peak. He's actually got Coldy very low as well. Bomb just going to be taken, running away. Starix was the Na'Vi coach, yes. He now joined Spirit to play again. I think he was actually sacked from Na'Vi because they weren't doing very well. Still haven't been doing that great so far, and it's only really been best of ones that we've really seen too much from at all. So I'm hoping to see the return. Zedko has managed to retrieve himself an AK in this situation. Needs someone to make a mistake here, and he does spot Davkos, but Davkos holding the angle. Just going to be able to finish things off. 10 to 13. They're going to have to eco this one. Monty has some extra cash, which could be used to either get some pistols here or to buy an AWP in the next round for Devil, who has gone a little bit quiet. He's still performing, but the way he started, I think he had over 20 frags in the first half, so how do you bring that up? It's this, isn't it? This is how you do it. It's this, then total kills, second half, Monty. Oh, wait. He's at 4. So there you go. He definitely has slowed down. And just as I tab back, lovely. Stark's going to get himself the first kill, looking to try and make some extra cash. Holdy gets another, looking to try and hold down the fort versus these aggressive pistols, and a flawless round for the T's. Yeah, Oscar's very entertaining, but yeah, he has been one of those players who's been known for having a bit of a toxic attitude, but it seems like it's working, at least in this team. I think he just clashed quite a bit with Nico, because they both go for very audacious plays, so if you do that on both sides of the map, things are unlikely to work. Because you have to think of it from, say you're on CT side and both players go aggressive, you're going to be expecting that that someone's going to go aggressive, so you're going to definitely catch one of them. Nice start, though, from Dima. Minute left on the clock. We've already seen one comeback in this best of 3 series. Definitely a possibility to get a second. No, I don't know who that is. Federice. Should I? Oh, look at this from Frozen. Should be going for the play of the game. Finds himself one. Bomb has been dropped in the meantime. He's got to try his best to hold on to this, and in fact, will be falling in the meantime. Quest Tone goes down, and it's all left onto Zegco. 1v4. Don't think he's going to be holding on to this one. Team Spirit now, they're starting to make this comeback happen. As said, we saw some brilliant stuff coming out from the T side, on Devil at least. This, wow. Starting to fall apart for them, and actually they're going to lose their final player, so everybody just going to have to save going into the next round, can invest probably down to that 2k marker, and yeah, Devil definitely need to be calling that tack in, because so far they've managed a few rounds after the sort of backwards and forwards where we saw Team Spirit have to go for their ecos, but it's now been 4 in a row. What's my favorite AK skin? Probably the one I'm giving away at the moment, the Bloodsport. So, yeah, selfless or selfish plug here. Well timed. If you do go to Twitter, which you can find !caster, I'm giving away a Bloodsport. So, factory new as well. CT side not going to be investing too much into this situation. Trying to save their money for the next round. They're actually going to stack all of their players up towards long. I got given a couple of skins. I sold them and then bought the Bloodsport with some extra cash as well. Nice start from Zegco. Gets one with the D-Eagle. Ready. Looking like the wipe down may be coming in. After what was a nice start, it's now only Quest Zone left. Waiting over towards his toilet position. 1 versus 4. Theme are low, so there is an opportunity for him to at least pick up one. Doesn't actually spot him. And he needs to connect one bullet, and he's not going to be able to. 13-13. Team Spirit on the comeback. They'll even up the scoreline. Now the CT side, if they're not going to be taking this round, they may be out of this game relatively soon. The money is good for Team Spirit as well. You don't cast for Starladder, do you have a separate Twitch? I do have a separate Twitch, but I've been casting a lot recently, so I haven't really had the chance to stream. I think at some point I probably will start streaming. I'm exhausted by the time I finish, or I just don't fancy it. Like, mornings and me don't agree, so it is Tom Biz, if anybody's interested. If not, fine. Monty, starting things off, gets the first kill. Looking like it's a much better defense so far, at least. But Coldy, Sophic, and Davkos, the trio, find themselves 3 kills. Leave it on to Devil and Frozen. 2 at the top. Devil does manage to find 1. AWP doing its job perfectly. Davkos and Coldy, but Devil once again, maybe he's back. He's going to have to try and face off against Coldy, who has been the man to turn things around for this team. Has himself a kit. He's going to be tapping onto that bomb. Possibly expects him to be coming from the right-hand side, but he flicks! Devil again! He's back in this round. And he's going to pull things through for eXtatus. 14-13. But it's not over yet. T-side are going to have no problems buying back in. It excites you a bit, huh? Suppose that's good to know. CT side still coming out with the worst of the 2 buys in this situation. Rose's still going to be playing around that smoke. Devil going to be be waiting over towards long, and it does look like they're going to try and challenge this position. He's going to miss the shot. Diva just drive-by headshot. Peek out from Frozen. We'll be able to get one as he tries to retreat, but it's not going to be enough. Peek out, Davkos. Monty's got no reason to repeat that again. CT side are going to struggle to hold on to this one. They need a big play. They need someone to step up. Nade's going to be thrown in now. Flashbang, smokes. T-side has looked very good for Team Spirit. Now Coldy already going to finish off one more. Zedco on the site. Got so much left to do. Through the smoke, though, we'll at least be able to drop the bomb. There's only 25 seconds left on the clock, so they are going to have to try and retrieve it. 20 seconds left. There's actually a flank coming in as well. Could be problematic. They've got to watch out for this. Zedco's doing a lot of work. Bomb is finally going to be planted. The problem is, they've got to try and do more. Questone, he gets another kill. Brings it back to a 2v2. Zedco with another. It's all onto Coldy once again as the flank now begins to come in. And it will be eXtatus getting themselves to that map point. How on earth did they get away with that one? Zedco with the massive play to deny that bomb plant. And now they hit map point. But again, no problems for the T side to buy back in. How did they manage to do that? I have no idea. Who's better, Oscar or Guardian? My heart says Guardian, so I'm going to go with that. On their best, I would still say Guardian. Consistently, Oscar's probably better, like just over a span of time. But then again, we've seen Oscar playing against a lot of weaker teams, so not in like the last few, like not last month, but previously. So we'll see if he can keep it up or if it's just more of a hot streak. But yeah, I think they're both absolute beasts. It's just I've always, like, when I started watching CS, it was always Guardian who was the tank, and I'm never going to be able to get over that, even if he starts like botting out. You sound a bit ill. I don't know. I'm a little bit bunged up, but don't think it's that different. One round is all that's needed from the CT side. Questone already starting things off. Devil with another. Already leaving this down to just 3 players to try and turn things back. Make it 2, as now it's Coldy. No, it's not Coldy. Coldy's dead. It's Sophic and Starix. 2 versus 4. They've got to try and make their way forward already. Frozen going to be catching one out. He stepped up on this side, and I think it may be done. eXtatus. Surely from this point, they're making their way forward in the tournament, as now Sophic, he's got to try and push onto the site. 25 HP. Questone going to be waiting above with only seconds left, and the pre-fire will come in. eXtatus will take it. It's going to be 16-13, and they will make their way through. The final team to continue forward. We'll be back, I think, in about a week to see who will go through into that next stage. Either way, congratulations to all you guys who bet, or who are fans of the eXtatus guys. Where am I going on my holidays? I haven't been on a holiday in like 2 years. I probably won't be again. I don't know. I think with my job at the moment, I want to just keep taking every single piece of work I can. So until that changes, probably won't go on holiday, I'll be honest. But yeah, if you have enjoyed this, guys, don't forget you can always check me out on Twitter. As said just minutes ago, I do have a giveaway going if you are interested. If not, just, you know, give me a follow because you love me, of course. But that is all for tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'll see you anon.